بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين والصلاة والسلام على رسول الله وعلى آله وصحبه ومن والاه الحمد لله رب العالمين حمدا يوافي نعمه الكاف مزيدا يا ربنا لك الحمد كما ينبغي جلال وجهك وعظيم سلطانك سبحانك لا نحصي ثناء عليك أنت كما أثنيت على نفسك فلك الحمد حتى ترضى ولك الحمد إذا رضيت ولك الحمد بعد الرضا اللهم صل وسلم على سيدنا محمد في الأولين وصل وسلم على سيدنا محمد في الآخرين وصل وسلم على سيدنا محمد في كل وقت وحين وصل وسلم على سيدنا محمد حتى ترث الأرض ومن عليها وأنت خير الوارثين الحمد لله رب العالمين وتتعالى المتعلم والتذكر والتذكير والنفع والانتفاع رفادة والاستفادة والحث على التمسك بكتاب الله وسنة رسوله صلى الله عليه وسلم والدعاء إلى الهدى والدلالة على الخير ابتغاء وجه مرضاته وقربه وثوابه سبحانه وتعالى الحمد لله رب العالمين. So we begin our lesson today speaking about a particular characteristic of the names, the asma, which is number. So the asma, of course, as these entities, these essences, they're going to have their characteristics. So we spoke about before about the characteristics of definiteness, what we call ta'rif or nakira. And also we spoke about gender. So whether a thing is feminine or masculine in terms of gender. In this lesson, we'll be speaking about nouns, the asma, but in terms of their number. So in these regards, we have the mufrad, which is singular, the muthanna, which is dual, and jam'un, which means plural. So we'll give a screenshot here so we can get an idea of what we're talking about, what we're looking at, inshallah. Okay, so we have, as we said, the mufrad, singular, muthanna, dual, and jam'un, plural. So he spoke about, of course, the singular. We're now going to speak about the muthanna. So we have from the ism, rajul, rajulani, and we can make a note here that the rajulani, this is in the raf' form, and the raf' is indicated by an, the suffix an. So from rajulun, we have rajulan. So rajulun, of course, is in the raf' state, and rajulan is also in the raf' state. So whereas the raf' is indicated by the tanween dam, the tanween dam here, the tanween dam, it's indicated in the muthanna state by the alif and noon. So rajulan. So from rajulun, we have rajulan. Rajulun, a man, rajulani, two men. And then from al-jannah, the garden, we have jannatan. وَلِمَنْ خَافَ مَقَامَ رَبِّهِ جَنَّتَانِ. Now this from the Quran. Note that the tanween, if any, disappears when the dual, and note that the tanween, if any, disappears when the dual ending is added. So the tanween is replaced by the in the dual form with the alif and the noon. The above examples are examples of the dual in the default state, the raf' state, the marfu' state. So this is that's as it concerns the muthanna. As it concerns the jam', we have the plural, and the jam' is of two types. We have jam' al-mudhakkar al-salim, and then we have jam' al-taksir. So the jam' al-mudhakkar al-salim is what we see here. So where we add either waw and noon. So where you have Muslim, we have muslimun. So we have Muslim and then muslimun, or salih, as-salihu, as-salihun. So we add a waw and a noon to indicate the jam' here. So of course, this is in the rough state from Muslimun to Muslimun. So we can understand that one of the things that the scholars of Arabic, they state that the Dhamma is the little brother of the Waw. Because a Dhamma is the little brother of the Waw, so we can remember it like this. So from Muslimun, we have a Dhamma, of course, Munawwan, the Muslimun. Then in the plural form, you're going to have Muslimun. So this is the Jem al-Mudhakkar as-Salim. And from the other example, we have as-Salihu, Dhamma, of course, ending in Dhamma state. And in the plural state, in the plural form of this word, we have as-Salihun. So that's of course the rough state where you have al-Dhamma, and then also the Waw and Noon. So al-Muslimu wal Muslimun. In the Nasb or the Jar state, we're going to use Ya and Noon to indicate the Nasb and the Jar. So if we were to say Muslimin, we would say Muslimin, right? So we'd say, excuse me, we would say from Muslimin, we would say Muslimin. So this would apply for the Muthanna. This is going to be in the Nasb state and also in the Jar state. So we spoke about above, that was the Jem al-Mudhakkar as-Salim. We have another type of plural, another regular plural called the Jem al-Mu'annath as-Salim. Jem al-Mu'annath as-Salim. So these are the sound feminine plurals. Sound feminine plurals. And these end with the suffix at. So alif and a ta. Right. So and that ta is of course ta at ta'nith, indicating femininity. Okay. So in the rough state, we have muslimatun, feminine, of course. The ta at ta'nith indicating that it's feminine. Muslimatun, muslimat. Muslimatun, muslimat. Of course, muslimatun being the complete way that we would say it. So muslimatun. So muslimatun, feminine, feminine in gender, singular in number, to muslimatun, feminine in gender, plural in number. And of course, we know that the plurals, they're 3 or more. So if it's 3 or more Muslim women, we'd say muslimatun. And also, so in the next example, we have as-salihatu, as-salihatu. So in the rough state, we have as-salihatu, as-salihatu, and then in the plural state, we have as-salihatu. So that's in the rough state where we have the ending of dhamma in both the mufrad and the jam'. So in the singular and also the plural, it's going to end with this dhamma. Then, as it concerns the genitive or an accusative cases, which is of course the nasb and the jar states, we end in kasra, always a kasra. So you're never going to end the genitive state of jam al-mu'annath as-salim with a fatha. There's never going to be a fatha. For the nasb and the jar state, it's going to be kasra. So jam' al-mudhakkar al-mu'annath as-salim is never going to have a fatha ever, right? So it's not one of its indicators. So the indicator for the accusative or genitive state, i.e. the nasb and the jar state, is going to be always kasra. So we have here we have al-muslimat, muslimatan, muslimatin, and also al-muslimat. So here in the nakira state, you have muslim and also al-muslimati. Okay. Then we have the third type of plural, and we can use our whiteboard here to sort of keep a general idea of what we are talking about. So we've spoken about two plurals so far. The two plurals The first one being the first plural being al-jam' al-mudhakkar as-salim. These are terms that we have to memorize, of course. Al-jam' al-mudhakkar as-salim. Then we have al-jam' al-mu'annath as-salim. So this is the sound masculine plural, the sound masculine plural, and it's there in the book on page, this is where, of course, we're on page page 80 in our textbook. So you have a jam' al-mu'annath as-salim. This is the feminine, the complete feminine plural, or the regular feminine plural. As-salim means to be that it's complete, or it follows a particular analogous scheme, right? You can follow that follows a particular pattern. We spoke about those patterns previously as it concerns the waw and the noon, or the ya and the ya and the noon, and in the jam' al-mudhakkar as-salim, and the alif and ta, and in the raf' state, it's going to take a dhamma, and in the nasb and the jar state, it's going to take a kasra. Okay, al-muslimatu or al-muslimati. So al-muslimatu, this is the raf' state, of course, and al-muslimati in the nasb and the jar state. Okay, so we now have the last plural, which we call broken plurals. And these plurals have to be really just memorized. There are patterns for these plurals, but we have to memorize these broken plurals. Broken plurals. Broken plurals. So this is 3 types of plurals, just so we keep able to remember the types of plurals that we've gone over already. So we have, the irregular broken plurals, jam' at-taksir, jam' at-taksir. The plurals for most of words in Arabic are considered irregular plurals. Irregular plurals undergo some other change, where the singular word is broken by a change in internal voweling, or by the addition or subtraction of one or more letters. So here, the first example that we have, nafsun and nufus. And we can note certain patterns here that we should pick up on. So we have fa'lun and then fu'ul. This is the weight that's being used here, and we should memorize these weights. It takes a little bit of time, but once you get once you memorize the patterns, the broken patterns, you're able to sort of you're able to pick them up and remember them, and sort of understand which ones what's a plural of which. So we have nafsun, nufus. We have kitabun, kutub. Yawmun, ayyam. Jabalun, jibal. No. So examples of these usage, we have qala rajulani. So of course this is the dual, which means 2 men said. Then we have alam naj'al lahu aynayn. Have we not made for him 2 eyes? فلا تموتن إلا وأنتم مسلمون. So do not die except as Muslims. Of course, this is in the sound masculine plural form. وَقُومُوا لِلَّهِ قَانِتِينَ. And stand for Allah devoutly obedient. This is, of course, the sound masculine plural, قَانِتِينَ. إِذَا جَاءَكَ الْمُؤْمِنَاتُ. When the believing women come to you. إذا جاءك المؤمنات, sound feminine plural. This is a sound feminine plural form. إني أرى سبع بقرات سمان. Indeed I saw 7 fat cows. So بقرات siman. So whereas the singular would be baqara, we say al-baqarat, baqarat. Right. So this is of course in the nakira form. The nakira form, the nakira jar, the genitive case. إني أرى سبع بقرات سمان. ونقض من الأموال والأنفس والثمرات. So this is the translation here. And we will surely test you with the loss of wealth, lives, and fruits. This is the broken plural, min al-amwal wal-anfus. Of course, the singular here is mal, plural being amwal, and the singular of anfus is nafs. Then we have anfus as the plural, as a broken plural. Last example, قلوب يومئذ واجفة. قلوب يومئذ واجفة. So hearts on that day will tremble. Hearts that day will tremble. So of course, qulub here, which is hearts. The singular is qalbun. So we have from qalbun qulub as a broken plural. A famous statement of the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam makes use of this dual form. كلمتان خفيفتان على اللسان ثقيلتان في الميزان حبيبتان إلى الرحمن سبحان الله العظيم سبحان الله وبحمده. There are 2 words light on the tongue, heavy on the scale, beloved to the most merciful, glory be to Allah, which are, glory be to Allah, the greatest, glory and praise be to Allah. Note some words such as mizan and ar-Rahman end with alif and noon, but they are not plural. This does not signify plural. These are actually from a different morphological formulation. So here we can go over some subtleties in the Arabic language. So we have the word one, or what would be translated as one. When counting, the word wahid means one. The word ahad means one, but is not used in counting. Whenever ahadun is used, it usually implies no possibility of a second. So wahid, it means one, but as a description. Whereas ahadun, it's used as something that implies no second. So 2 hearts. Allah says in the Quran, "Ma ja'ala Allahu li rajulin min qalbayni fi jawfi." Allah has not made for any man 2 hearts inside of him. Scholars of the Quran discuss the precise wording of rajulun versus a more generic term such as insan, human, which includes women. A man usually cannot have 2 hearts, while a woman does when pregnant. So this is one of the subtleties, the lata'if of the Quran. Plural. The word for plural, jam'un, is related to a number of common words which all have to do with the concept of gathering. So we have jami'un, which means large mosque, al-jumu'atu, which is Friday, jama'atun, group, ijtima'un, gathering. So we can use the summary below as in this diagram to remember the different types of plurals, which we can memorize easily. So we have the mufrad, which is the asma in terms of number, looking at the asma in terms of number. So we have mufradun, muthanna, which is dual. So we have mufradun singular, muthanna, which is dual, plural, which is of course the plural form. Now, so we have broken or the majority of plurals, which are broken, the broken plurals, which have particular awzan. So we have nafsun, nufus, for example, or qulubun, qulub. And then we have the sound plurals, which break into masculine or mixed gender. And then we have the feminine. So the masculine or mixed gender, in the rough state, we're going to end those with waw and noon. So waw and noon. And in the nasb and jar state, the genitive and accusative states, we have ya and noon. So we mentioned previously that the dhamma is the little brother of the waw, whereas the kasra is the little brother of the ya. That's a little cute way that the ulama, they allow us to remember some of these the grammatical states and what it corresponds to, what the genitive plural corresponds to the singular, what letters correspond to in terms of the diacritical, or the dhamma corresponds to the waw, and the ya corresponds to the kasra. Then we have the sound feminine plurals, which end in alif ta. Of course, we said in the the rough state that it's going to end with a dhamma, in the nasb and jar state, it's going to end with a kasra. So the charts below, it summarizes how we can use, how we can memorize these forms, and these forms can be applied across to the different the different masculine words. So we have mufrad, muslimun, in the singular, and in the accusative state we have musliman, and in the genitive state we have muslimin. For muthanna, the word Muslim becomes Musliman, and in the accusative state it becomes Muslimain, and in the jar state it becomes Muslimin. Muslim in the plural state becomes Muslimun, and in the plural accusative state it becomes Muslimin. In the plural genitive state it becomes it also is Muslimin. The feminine plurals we have in the mufrad raf state, or the singular nominative state, we have muslimatun. In the singular accusative state we have muslimatan. In the singular genitive state we have muslimatin. In the dual nominative state, muslimatun becomes muslimatan. In the dual accusative state we have muslimatain. In the dual genitive state we have muslimataini, also muslimataini. For the muslimatun in the plural raf state becomes muslimatan. In the plural accusative state it becomes muslimatin. In the plural genitive state it is muslimatin as well. Now, so those are some charts that we can use to memorize the Jem al-Mudhakkar al-Salim and also the Jem al-Mu'annath al-Salim. We ask Allah to increase us in knowledge. We ask Allah to forgive us for our shortcomings. Wa akhiru da'wana alhamdulillahi rabbil alameen.